very good morning to everyone present over here. Today, it's the International Women's Day, and a world where we want to live should be a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together, we can forge women's equality, and if we all demonstrate the power and value of more diverse opinions and experience, it leads to more powerful decision making. So, collectively, all together, we all can create, or we can call it, break the bias. Individually, we all are different and we all are responsible for our own thoughts and actions all day, every day. And to discuss upon the same, how we can break the bias and how we can open all the way for all the ladies out there and women, have eminent personalities with us. We have Miss Arushi Nishank, actor, producer, international Kathak exponent, philanthropist, and environmentalist with us. We have Miss Meghna Ghaipuri. She's educationist, a change catalyst from Mumbai. She's a president at Whistling Woods International and a wonderful personality. We have with us Ms. Manini Mishra. Manini Mishra is known to break the bias in the television industry with her leading roles and wonderful performances and the characters that she has chosen always. We also have with us Ms. Kiran Juneja Sippy. She's an Indian actress, very known personality from 1980s when she started her career. When she entered the industry, very few women were there, and she played the iconic role of Ganga, Ma Ganga in Mahabharat. We also have Professor Dr. Ritu Sood joining, Dean, School of Media, Film and Entertainment, Sharda University, with us. So, as we were talking about celebrating Women's Day, we have all these wonderful leading ladies, and it will be a pleasure to learn from you all. It's really, I'm so glad that today we have all of you together. Kiran ma'am, Ritu ma'am, Meghna ma'am, Manini ma'am, Arushi ma'am. It's a pleasure for MESC to have you all on our panel.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us here, Pooja and MESC. It's wonderful to see all of you. Happy Women's Day, everyone.
Happy Women's Day. Kiran ma'am, hi.
Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Hi ma'am, how are you?
I think she needs to unmute. Kiranji, you need to unmute.
She's
Yeah.
figuring it out, right?
Yes, ma'am. I am going to send you a message where you can just click and unmute yourself. If my team can send her, Kiran ma'am, a message to unmute, please. So, talking about breaking the bias today and having you all on this platform, it's really wonderful and a pleasure for Media and Entertainment Skills Council and our platform Vidyadan. As I am sure Meghna ma'am will be well aware of this platform, as it's a brainchild of our Honorable Chairman, Sir, Mr. Subhash Ghai. And we are so glad under this platform, we have already conducted almost 500 webinars, which has reached 25 plus countries and to the rural areas of our nation. So let's begin with today's session. And knowing you all, it's an like I can't actually come up with the words. You all are holding so senior positions in your career. You talking about breaking the bias today. Have you guys even faced any bias situation? So let's start with Meghna ma'am.
Well, yeah, I mean, bias, I think, exists in society generally. I think all stereotypes that we all hold, even within our own hearts and minds towards each other, are lead to bias eventually. And I think for women especially, yes, there have been many instances where stereotypes have been applied to our lives and, you know, our careers or even at home. And it's something that we have to deal with, right? We have to all learn to deal with it.
Roshni,
But I think what's really
I
important.
cannot hear them.
Oh, Kiranji can't hear us.
Yeah, you.
Kiran
We
ma'am,
can hear her. Kiranji, we can hear you. Can you? Oh, she can't hear us.
Yeah, now I can hear. Now I can hear.
Okay, great.
Okay. Also, can I request the host to just spotlight all of us? I think only
Yes.
Manini and I are spotlight,
Yeah.
or pinned or whatever.
I think we
So
need
it'll be better if everyone is.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Kiranji. How are you?
Hi. Some technical issues. I couldn't hear you people at all.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Now
you're
it's all
looking as
sorted.
gorgeous as ever.
Oh, thank you so much. So are you. All of you, in fact. Awesome women.
Happy Women's Day.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you.
So
So just to finish answering the question that, I think bias is part of our lives generally, not just for women, for everyone. And I think it's important that we build a society, especially as women, who really can be protagonists for a change in the world, to really be able to be more inclusive in nature, to be able to not create bias in our own working environments. And I think that's where the change will start.
absolutely. Arushi ma'am is changing. She has bring a lot of change in the society. She's being a philanthropist. She has worked a lot during COVID situation. So, ma'am, have you ever felt this bias thing happening around?
I couldn't agree more than every word Megha just said it. And I really feel, we can't fight alone. When we're talking about women and it's International Women's Day, we are talking 1 plus 1 equals to 2. No, we are talking 1 plus 1 equals to 1. That synergy, we are looking at this place. If you asking Pooja me the incident I have encountered to see the biasness, because I am a very new filmmaker, a very new producer, an actor too. I start with one of the encounter I had. If a few of you know that we started working on a Tarani, which is a feature film, and this is a real event based story where the women naval officers went for a world tour in a small Make in India boat. We took a great fight to get all the permission done exclusively from Ministry of Defense. And there's a new girl. I have a few connections in industry, and I'm making to meet all the filmmakers. And I met one of the big filmmaker. I don't want to name him. So I said with him, I said, this is a subject, and there's a 6 women naval officers. Prasoon Joshi ji has written it, and this is how we want to come across. This is a very powerful subject. That question he asked me that really shook me up. He asked me, there is no hero.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, we are in the 21st century. Do you really want to have a hero here? We may be having, but it's not necessarily required that every subject need a super actor like a Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan. If you're talking about it's an adventurous film, no, it's not all the time necessary. So I encountered. Unfortunately, then I met right set of people. Now we are producing it with T series, and we have already signed our director for it. We are talking the big woman name in films. So, I really feel because a lot of us from the industry only, and we have seen, things, but I don't want to make you feel very negative today. We should start with a positive note. So if we see the Gangubai, this is a good start to see, this film just, pulled by Alia Bhatt, a woman-centric film, which has already come into the 100 CR club. So this is something good to see, in the industry also. There's a lot of things are changing. If we're talking about the gender pay gap, which is a very prominent problem in all over the world, 7 to 17%, this is the gap, right? And it stays in our industry too. So I feel after the projects coming and shining brighter, we must have a different version of industry also to see in the future.
I agree. Kiran ma'am came into highlight with various shows during 1980s, 90s, and Kiran ma'am, how was your decision to come up on screen? Like it was a big decision at that time.
With me in my life, most of the things have just happened to me. So I started modeling when I was in college because it came to me. I came to Bombay to start modeling because it came to me. And then television had just started, and there was this one of the first programs that was made by Rajshree's, which was called Paying Guest. And it had independent roles for, every episode was independent, and they approached me for it. And I did that. So that gave me an entry into the television series, which was just starting out. And from there came Bhajana with Shekhar Suman, my first series, which most people don't even know about because Bunyad and then Mahabharat took over. So it was a journey that it was not a planned journey for me. I think my life just found its own path as and when. So I'll say in one way, I'm not ambitious, and in another way, I'm very devoted and dedicated. So whatever I did, once I got it, I took it seriously, and I searched forward and did it. But you know what she was just talking about reminded me of an incident that I must share, that when I got married to Mr. Sippy, and I would attend these film events and film parties. A question that was invariably put to me was, "Ki ab to aap kaam nahi kar rahi hongi?" And I would look at them and I'd say, "Why?" And they would say, "Nahi, ab to aapki shaadi hogi na, aapko kya zarurat hai?" And the anger I felt at that moment inside of me was so frustrating, because never had I worked because mujhe zarurat thi. Never had I worked for that. I had worked because this was my passion. But somehow the thinking always was that women came into the film industry only if they had to support their family, or if they had some kind. So there was this bias that, women will only work provided they need to provide. And now that you're provided for, you're married to a wealthy man, you're married to Mr. Sippy, why do you need to work? It took me almost, I think, 5-6 years of my marriage, I literally had no work.
Oh.
Because nobody would approach me. A, they would think she's left work. I didn't have a secretary. B, they would think that, oh, if we approach her, she's Mississippi, so this will happen, that will happen. I went through almost 5-6 years of no work. And after that, I started working selectively on and off, whatever came to me. If I liked it, I did it. But it's hard for women, because you're not supposed to be the bread earner. You're not supposed to be a career person. You're not supposed to be the one who's working. It's still there. It has changed a lot. I find more so in the middle class level, where today I find a change that men 15 years ago looked for a woman when they went for an arranged marriage. I hope I'm not talking too long. I want all the others to participate also. So they would go and say, if they advertise, they would say, "Gharelu ladki chahiye," kind of thing, ghar ki maa ki dekhbhal kare, khana banaye. Today, when they look for a working woman, the middle class. And why do they look for a working woman? Because she brings in money. And so it's 50 plus 50, which makes it 1 lakh at the end of the day. And so you have a better quality of life. You can invest in a flat, you can buy a car, you can support, you can have probably a maid coming in, which you otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. So it's all about affordability. But the sad part of it all is that how many women have a proper partnership with their husbands? We all go and work out, but when we come home, especially the middle class who do not have staff at home, I had a girl working for me many years ago, I'm talking, and she used to stay in Nala Supara, which was like an hour and a half to 2 hours journey for her from our office. And this girl couldn't even be late by 10 minutes. She would just beg us and say, I can't stay, mujhe ghar jaake khana banana hai. So it was like this girl would get up at 6 in the morning, cook for the morning, and then leave for work, go back and cook for the night. So I'm saying, where is equality? So as a woman, you're working 24/7. You work the moment you open your eyes, house is your focus. So servants, ye, wo, khana, vegetables are there. Not even if they are doing it, you still have to look into things. What is broken, what is not broken, electrician, ye, wo, everything. Even in the office, you will get calls in the middle of a meeting sometimes if it's urgent, which you have to just put aside your phone and ignore for that moment and carry on with the meeting. And once you finish the meeting, you go back to it. So that is the kind of thing that I would say needs to change.
This is so relatable, ma'am. Honestly, this is so relatable. And I think every working woman would agree to this point that they are considered to be the, the caretaker of house also. And yes, I honestly believe also now the things are changing, but let's hear it from Manini ma'am, because
Yeah.
she is the actually the icon
Manini will give us some very good insights, I'm sure.
Ma'am knows me so well. Honestly, a lot is changing, but a lot hasn't changed. Let's be very honest with each other.
Yes.
We are all
Yes.
women who are educated, who come from emancipated backgrounds. But unfortunately, partnership की बात आपने की किरण मैम, ये एक concept में ही रह गया है. I think today what I feel is required, please correct me if I'm wrong, is, we are empowering women. But what about the men? They can't handle empowered women. You see, unfortunately, they are still stuck in that time war. And no offense meant to any mother who has a son, but she needs to lead by example. And she needs to
Absolutely.
set boundaries which are clear. That listen, I'm also a working person, and I also am a human being. आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, आँख खुलते से first one to wake up, last one to sleep. I have a theory in my head, which is that two people need to be active partners. जब हम
Active.
फेरे लेते हैं ना, तो उसमें वो बोलते हैं कि 4 लड़का आगे or whatever. I genuinely believe this thought has to be changed. कि देख बेटा, मैं तेरा ATM मशीन नहीं हूँ, I'm not your cash cow. मैं परफेक्ट नहीं हो सकती. ये एक pitfall है औरतों को. Unfortunately, we've been trained by society कि आपको अच्छी माँ भी बनना है, आपको अच्छी प्रोफेशनल भी बनना है. ये जो परफेक्शन का stupid pursuit है, जिसमें मैंने अपनी आधी जिंदगी बिता दी, actually is the most detrimental thing to a woman's brain, because we are constantly fighting with those standards which have been set for us. First. Secondly, I believe when women hold each other, it could be a mother, a mother-in-law, a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, just to have somebody talk to you. So many times all we need to do is be heard. That's all we want. We really don't see solutions. Hum sabke paas. We all have solutions. And we all have our own battles. All of us women have faced our own battles. Point is, when we get together and say, let's make this a solution oriented, at a micro and a macro level, we have to address. And we have to bring up our voice saying, देखो बेटा, वो मम्मी की नौकरानी नहीं बनने आ रही है. देखो बेटा, वो बाई को नहीं निकालेंगे जब वो आएगी. देखो बेटा, वो एक इंडिविजुअल है. वो चीनी नहीं है जो चाय में घुल जाए. उसको समय लगेगा बच्चे, वो अपना घर छोड़ के रहा है. उसको रिस्पेक्ट दो. एंड अगर आपको वर्किंग वाइफ चाहिए तो बॉस, आपको खाना बनाना, कपड़े धोना, सब कुछ आना चाहिए. So I always tell my daughter, who's 21 right now, that whoever you want to be with, be very clear about certain things in your life. कल को मत बोलना, कल को मत बोलना. So there is a joke which I must share with you ladies. पहले इस्तेमाल करो, फिर विश्वास. Okay? Because माँ ने तो कभी किया नहीं, तो माँ की तो हिस्ट्री अलग है. तो ये आप मुझे मम्मी ज्ञान दे रहे हो, इसका ज्ञान है. First figure out how to fit into that situation. Because आज बहुत अच्छा है सब कुछ. Equality पेपर पे है, रियलिटी में नहीं है. जब आपको एक फैमिली फंक्शन अटेंड करना होता है और आपकी शूटिंग होती है और आप नहीं जा सकते हो, 4 चीजें आपको सुनाई जाती हैं. हाँ, आप तो बिजी हो, आप तो एक्ट्रेस हो. एक्सक्यूज मी, आई एम अ प्रोफेशनल. मतलब मेरे को कोई शौक नहीं है कि मैं फैमिली फंक्शन छोड़ दूं और अपना काम करूं. बट अगर आपके बेटे को वही करना होता है तो उसको मार्क्स मिलती है, मुझे क्यों नहीं मिलती? So I believe equality has to start from a change in perspective, shift in perspective, which is to understand I'm an individual. I am not कि मैं तुम्हें पूरा करूं कि नहीं, मैं इनकम्प्लीट पैदा ही नहीं हुई थी. मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे आधा तो पैदा किया नहीं था, हाउ कैन यू कंप्लीट मी? एक तो ये गंदी लाइन जो है ना, ये यू कंप्लीट, ये डिज्नी मूवीज में होता है, ये रियल लाइफ में नहीं होता। मैं आधी पैदा ही नहीं हुई, तू कैसे कंप्लीट करेगा मुझे? What thing of understanding? I'm an individual, you're an individual. We come together as adults and say, okay, you know what? मुझे ना खाना नहीं बनाना, कोई नहीं, मैं कर दूंगा। अच्छा, मुझे ये आता है, ये मेरी स्ट्रेंथ है, ये आपकी स्ट्रेंथ। Let's synergize and work as a team, not against each other. Which is, to me, it makes sense. And women per se, like there's so many women here today. Just the fact that we hold each other up and celebrate each other's victories and wipe each other's tears and say, you know what, babe, ugly cry kar le yaar, kya farak padta hai? Mere ko bhi ho raha tha kal, haan yaar, mere ko bhi ho raha tha. You know, just that sisterhood is so important that you will look like shit when you wake up in the morning. There will be days when you feel like, yaar, main nahi kar sakti. Just one person telling you, khadi ho ja, khadi ho ja. Just that sisterhood is so important rather than seeing each other as adversity. Gangubai, you know, where that best friend of Gangubai, she says, I believe in you. We just need to believe in each other. That is so important. Just to
So
celebrate,
true.
yeah, celebrate
So
each
true.
other.
You know, I think I value my afternoons, occasional afternoons now, because one is working most of the time with women the most, because
Yes.
I think it's so therapeutic.
Oh,
It is so therapeutic. It's like, I think none of us are going to psychiatrists because we have somewhere we can kind of share and, you know, get that support system, because otherwise, like the West, we would all be just running, you know.
yeah. Friends are unpaid therapists. I think we
Yeah.
need a clutch of women who actually stand by us and not do black magic or something. अच्छा इसको मिल गया मुझे तो नहीं मिला. You know, just somebody. हाय मत बताओ, नजर लग जाएगी. हेलो एक्सक्यूज मी, मतलब मैं काम ना करूं, मैं साइबेरिया में जाके अपने को बेरी कर लूं, हाय राम मेरे को नजर लग जाएगी. Like,
Girls, I would like to ask you a question. All of you are in positions where you're in a commanding position. Okay? Most of you, even profession-wise. Do you face that bias with people, with men who work under you?
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very important
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Oh,
Kiranji,
oh.
Kiranji, I would like to come here, and I remember, you remember meeting, we had a talk
Yes,
also.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you
yes,
remember.
yes.
So hi, I'm Ritu, and I'm also a filmmaker and a journalist, but now I'm
Yeah.
an academician and training students to be a media professional. So I just, Manny, what you were talking about was very true, and I can relate to it, you know, and Kiranji was also saying that when the advertisement comes, ke homely, beautiful ladki chahiye, and I belong to that era of homely, beautiful ladki chahiye. So when I was being trained as a filmmaker from Jamia, AJK MCRC, so my पेरेंट्स प्रॉब्लम वॉज कि इसको लड़का नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि इसके जो है वो टाइमिंग्स बहुत ऑड है, और ये रात को 2 बजे शूटिंग करके आती है, तो nobody will accept her and she doesn't know how to cook. So that was a dilemma my family was facing, and actually I got very good proposals, but the dilemma was always there that she will have to let go of her career and training. So then finally, luckily I'm married to a guy from FTI. He's a very well-known guy, so he understood me, respected my profession, and today what I am is thanks to him. But पूरी शूटिंग करके रात को थक मर के जब आप घर आते हो, so your relatives ask, खाना तो नहीं बनाना आता तेरे को. So I said I can order food. I have a cook who'll cook all the meals that you want. I'll do everything for you, but khana, matlab, what is this?
Exactly. You know, my father was, for his time, way ahead of time. Like when he, in partition, he sort of helped out. And when my mother got married, he took her with no piece of jewelry. He said, this is like a bandish. I don't want dowry. So he was one of those very, very forward thinking men. And yet, to come down to it, he gave me so much liberty, touchwood. When I did finally start modeling and all, they supported me. My family was always behind me, even though they did not like what I was doing at that stage.
Exactly.
But I had that support, touchwood, because my father was a very reasonable man. If you sat and talked to him across the table and made him understand, he would. And yet, in my growing years, I remember my father always saying, "Ki beta, tum bade hoke na lecturer ban."
Exactly.
And what was the logic behind it? कि देखो लेक्चरर का क्या है, बच्चों के साथ स्कूल जाओगी, बच्चों के साथ वापस आ जाओगी. So when the kids are home, you're home. When they are out, you're out. So you'll be able to run the family as efficiently as you will be able to work. So his biggest disappointment on my not being a lecturer, though I was qualified, I did English honors in BA. So I could have taken it forward, but that was not my passion. So his biggest disappointment was more this, यही जो आप कह रही हैं कि कोई timings नहीं है यहाँ, कुछ नहीं है, तो how will you settle down? That was his worry. He wasn't upset about what I was doing, but वो जो time span की बात है, that played a very, very crucial role. So most, even advanced parents, sort of allowed you freedom to work and all, but wanted it to be within the parameters, where you could do justice to both.
वो एक लक्ष्मण रेखा टाइप के, जो करना है कर लो, पर within that limit करिए.
But now we are sitting in 21st century, and we can see the parliament sessions, or even during the parliament session, there are more females, and even the government and even the Skill in India initiative, all the government initiatives, I must say, have started promoting women, and more opportunities are actually coming towards the ladies. Now we see it's a proud moment when you see Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am holding that red laptop and coming for the session. Do you think this will increase in equality in the nation? जो changes आ रहे हैं अभी?
Pooja, can I answer this?
Yes, please.
Because I have worked at grassroots level and filmed at grassroots level, and I am also a development communication specialist. See, these laws and these rules and everything is fantastic, but when you come to the grassroots level, we have right to education, right? Where the government of India gives the girl child free education, right? But then if you look around yourself, you'll see that the girls are not going to the school. Parents are not sending the girls to the school. Why? क्योंकि वो सियानी हो गई है और हम उसको इतना दूर नहीं भेजेंगे. नहीं तो
also the thinking इसके ज्यादा पढ़ लिख लेगी तो फिर
exactly लड़का नहीं मिलेगा,
आ जाएगी और इसका दिमाग खुल जाएगा.
Exactly.
इसकी अपनी एक thinking process develop हो जाएगा. They don't want that. They want कि कच्ची like 16-17 years में उसकी शादी कर दो, so that वो उस घर में उस माहौल में अपने आप को एकदम अडेप्ट कर देगी. ज्यादा बड़ी हो जाएगी तो उसकी अपनी एक independent thought हो जाएगी, and it will become difficult for her to adjust into any other family.
Exactly.
Those are the thoughts parents have. So
it's not changed. It has not changed at all.
It has to work on 2 levels. So it's very good. I'm not saying that the government should not be doing this. Definitely the change has to start somewhere. And I'm glad that the government is bringing in all these policies. But at the grassroots level, who are the people who are changing the mind of the parents, of the society, of the let's say the panchayat, where is that change? Because just with this change, that change will not come. And the fact that today you're even discussing that, matlab there are what is the percentage of men in politics compared to women? Do you ever talk about it? I mean, do you say, "Are itne sare aadmi hain?" You don't, because you don't need to. Why do you need to talk about women? Because we are second-class citizens.
Exactly.
तो हमारी जब growth होती है तो उसको celebrate किया जाता है. I mean, it's a big thing कि woman is getting this. In the first place, why are we even having to get it?
Exactly.
As a human being, why is it not with us from the start? Why is it I have to ask and beg for my rights? मतलब literally, I believe that every woman has to fight for her rights. आप मांगोगे नहीं तो आपको मिलेगा नहीं. If you think people around you will understand your needs and help you with it and bring it to you on a platter and say कि भैया here it is, नहीं होने वाला है. You have to express yourself and you have to say this is what I need, and only then will you get it.
No, I totally agree with Ritu that this cosmetic change, I mean, it's wonderful that the government is taking up initiatives and it's wonderful. But she's so right in saying India, ये India जो है, ये बहुत छोटा percentage है. Rural India is the real India. आप और हम ना टेलीविजन देखते हैं, ना हम उस तरह का कंटेंट कंज्यूम करते हैं. वहां पे जब तक एक बेसिक फंडामेंटल लेवल पर चेंज नहीं आएगा ऑफ रिस्पेक्टिंग. मेरा सवाल ये है, जब कोई आदमी बोलता है कि अरे तुम नहीं कर पाओगे, ऐसे देख सकते, तुम्हें किसने पैदा किया, पापा ने या मम्मी ने? माँ ने पैदा किया. तो अगर माँ ने पैदा किया तो उसके अंदर इतनी शक्ति है, वो तुम्हारी एक जिंदगी को यहाँ पर लेकर आएगी. So how do you even, on what basis are you under assessing is one thing. Physically I may not be as brawny,
Wrong. Yeah.
or whatever. But once again, that's the way God made me. थप्पड़ मेरा भी उतना ही तेज लगेगा तुम. Point is, तुम शब्दों से मुझे थप्पड़ मार रहे हो या हाथों से मार रहे हो. For example, I'm just saying. But तुम्हें ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है that this is where you come from. This is your origin.
Yes.
Why do I need to scream aloud and say, "Give me my right"? I mean, I'm sorry. That's the reason many a times when women, I have nothing against feminism. I love women. I am a feminist to some extent, but I believe कि हमें मांगना क्यों पड़ता है? ये हक है हमारा और बहुत जरूरी, और हमारे दिमाग में कंडीशनिंग डाल दी गई है. देखो बेटा, तुम लोग काम करते हो, इससे तुम्हारा दिमाग खुल जाता है, लेकिन मत पढ़ाओ, लड़का नहीं मिलेगा, बहुत इंडिपेंडेंट थॉट हो जाएगी, फिट इन नहीं कर पाएगी. एक सेकंड. You know something, this is something my mother shared. She was an IS officer. She said, जितने चिन्ह है औरत के बॉडी पर, वो भले आपकी बिंदी है, that is to block your third eye. सिंदूर है, that is to block your crown chakra. ये जो नथ पहनाई जाती है, this is a very important point. ये जो यहाँ पे ताली या मंगलसूत्र होता है, this is your throat chakra. जो आपके वेस्ट पर
चक्रों को ब्लॉक किया जा रहा है.
गर्दनी पहनाई जाती है, बिछुआ जो होता है. So at a very basic level, we have been constantly being held in. ये कहीं निकल गई ना, इसको अगर knowledge आ गई. And contrary to that, if you read the Veda, Gargi was the first academician. She was the most revered and most literate woman. Was the Vidushi. तो हम कहाँ चले गए? हम वहां से, हमारी एक हिस्ट्री, हमारा कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, और आज हम अपनी बेसिक राइट्स के लिए लड़ते हैं. कि अगर हम अगर छोटी सी चीज कर ले तो हमें बोला जाता है, हाँ वेरी गुड चलो सर, ये तो ठीक है, लेकिन बच्चे की पढ़ाई नहीं देख रहे हो.
करेक्ट. वर्क अप्रिसिएशन नहीं है.
वो नहीं है. और ये क्या है ना, ठीक है, क्या मतलब होता है? I don't understand. And also this brings to one point which I want to make is, I think we as women have to stop looking for validation. ये एक शाबाशी हमें खुद को देनी पड़ेगी, बिकॉज हम वेट करते रहेंगे तो एक्सपेक्टेशन होगी तो डिसअपॉइंटमेंट होगी. So I think it's about time that we understand who we are and own our power, rather than saying, चाचा जी बताइए ना मैं कैसी थी, पापा जी बताइए ना मैं कैसी थी, मैं बहुत अच्छी थी. मुझे हर किसी की
also I think what we need to change is also our way of thinking, because I find that we also, having grown up with our mothers, have subconsciously imbibed all those values, and we ourselves allow ourselves to fall into that pattern, to a great extent. And it is like एक बार आपने एक liberty दे दी है, फिर उसको वापस लेना बहुत मुश्किल है. It's not possible. Those women who set their parameters right in a marriage from day one, and sometimes those marriages don't work and break up in the very first 6 months. They do, right? But if they survive those 6 months to 1 year, then they survive. Because you set the parameters right, each partner knows कि मुझे क्या करना है. What are my lines? I can't go cross these lines. And then it works. The man takes responsibility, shares responsibilities, does it. So to some extent, I will say we also need to educate ourselves. We can't put all the blame on men.
No, we can't.
As much as they want a mother in you, because they are looking at what their mother did for their father and expecting the same from you, we are also aping our mothers to a great extent. I mean, a lot of my values I find have come from my mother. I literally, my house was set almost like my mother's house was set, even though she was not a working woman. But I was a working woman, and yet I was doing all the things that she was doing in her life.
So I think we need to detach from what conditioning we've been given firstly, because that was them. They are individuals, not to blame anybody. They knew what they knew best. They did, right? We are not supposed to be extended versions of our mothers. We are individuals. We need to have a sacred code for ourselves, and we need to understand that we may not be accepted, and that's okay. ये जो भूख होती है ना validation acceptance की, ये हमको एक मोल्ड में डालती है. मेरी मम्मी ने तो ऐसे किया होगा, मैं तुम्हारी माँ नहीं हूँ. Firstly, I think we need to understand that we are not them.
Why have you not heard that? I've heard all my friends say it. Luckily my husband is very flexible on food.
That's what.
And he comes from he's Sindhi and I'm Punjabi. So anyway, the food is very different. So I don't get that from him. But I have friends and I have relatives who say that everything has to be mummy's recipe. You understand? It's like mummy ऐसे बनाती थी, mummy से पूछ लो. So ultimately, the food that is being made in this house is exactly what the mother was making in that house. You know, so that to that extent, the adaptability of so the woman has to adjust, because मेरे घर में खाना कैसे बनता था is not important. अभी आपके घर में कैसे बनता था is what I must learn, and not just learn, eat also, because you know, if it's being cooked, I'm eating. So I'm that way lucky, because his is different culture, mine. So we have a blend of both, some Punjabi dishes, some Sindhi dishes, and the best of both. But very often I have friends whose husbands are so particular about the kind of food they want on the table. You know, इसमें जीरा क्यों है, धनिया क्यों नहीं है, to that extent.
बताओ, you are a successful woman, you are working, earning crores, and what are you doing?
जीरा धनिया, right.
काम करो, उसके हाथ में जीरा और धनिया दे दो, बोले बेटा खा डाल ले मुंह में.
Many, I want to ask you one thing. I mean, Pooja, if I can, with your permission,
Sure.
is that you have done very your roles that you've done in the series are not the stereotype roles, like, and you have been always the bold woman, or the woman who has been, you know, going against or firmly believing. Your roles are very different than the traditional Saas Bahu types. So was it intentional, or you looked for those kind of roles? I mean, I'm asking on behalf of my students. Yeah.
No, you know, a very interesting thing that you asked me. एक तो ना मेरी आई थिंक आंखें बड़ी हैं, तो वो मैं वैसे ही चुड़ैल बन जाती हूँ. मैं सबसर्विएंट नहीं लगती हूँ, मैं बेचारी नहीं लगती हूँ. पहली तो मेरी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैं बेचारी नहीं लगती हूँ, मैं पढ़ी लिखती हूँ, वो मेरे अगेंस्ट जाता है. And I think very personality, just I have played subservient characters, but somewhere I think it's how the universe has worked for me. I believe the character chooses the actor never chooses the character. And it comes at a particular point in your life, and I'm sure Kiran Mang will also agree. मेरी जिंदगी में real and real have always, you know, it's been, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Whenever I'm facing something in my personal life, you know, to expiate that, somehow I get a character which makes me break boundaries and gives me catharsis. So मुझे नहीं पता ये कौन करता है, ये ऊपर वाला ही करता है. But most of the times, people have always approached me with very powerful characters, whether it's negative or positive. And मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये क्या है? And one day I thought about it, and I said, "No, maybe that's the energy I hold within my soul, and that is the message that my soul purpose is to give that. That nothing and nobody can keep you down." So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये कोई ऊपर बैठकर कर रहा है, क्योंकि मुझे I would love to do subservient characters, but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि inside I don't believe in it, and मैं कितना भी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दे लूं, मुझे अंदर से पता है कि you know ये सच बोल रही हूँ मैं या झूठ बोल रही हूँ. वो मैं आपको, मेरा काम है, I'm a अय्यारी, I'm a shapeshifter, I'm an actor, it's my job to delude you, right? अगर मैं आपको delude नहीं करूंगी तो आप मेरे को देखने नहीं आओ, correct? So point is that these characters have come for a purpose, which actually connects with my soul purpose, which is to uplift, which is to empower, which is to shake you out of your, you know, little world and say, one second, there is a world beyond. And you need to push the envelope. इतने वो मत खुश हो जाओ अपनी छोटी सी जिंदगी में अपने को इतना. You need to keep pushing
yourself. Yes,
that's so important for all of us as women. You know, जिस दिन हम खुश हो जाएंगे ना कि या very good. Like I meet a lot of people in our industry. वो अपने scenes मुझे दिखाते हैं, मुझे बड़ी हंसी आती है. Kiran ma'am knows I start laughing. I'm very bad. Sarcasm is my second language. मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती. मेरे को भगवान ने मेरा डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग ही sarcasm है. क्या करूं मुझे नहीं पता. मुझे ना हंसी आ जाती है when somebody says मैंने क्या सीन किया है. I'm like ये खुद ही बोल रहे हैं अपने बारे में. And then they show you the scene, and of course you want to commit suicide at that point because इतना गंदा होता है कि आप कुछ बोल ही नहीं पाते हो और मेरी शक्ल पे दिख जाता है. I can't help. So I don't know what to say. मतलब I really don't know. I have to tell you this before my goes to somebody else. There was a male colleague of mine. One day he was sitting across each other waiting for a shot, and he says, I said आपको क्या हो गया? बड़े बीमार से लग रहे हो. मुझे cervix में बड़ी प्रॉब्लम. I just looked at him. I said, आपके पास भी cervix है? तो he said, सबके पास होता है. I said, अच्छा मुझे तो बायोलॉजी क्लास में बताया गया था cervix औरतों के पास ही होता है. What he meant is cervical. I have fallen off the chair, girls. I have fallen, and I am looking at myself and looking at him and saying, है इसके बाद में इससे गलत बायोलॉजी पढ़ाई है एंड ही सेड मी मैं तो जल्दी पैकअप करवा रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे बड़ा दर्द हो रहा है सर्विक्स में भाई साहब ये कौन है कहाँ है सो मेन इफ दे नहीं मैन थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा मुझे लंच के बाद मुझे 1 घंटा सोना है दैट्स ओके बट अगर मेरे पीरियड्स हो रहे हैं और मैं बोल रही हूँ मैं 5 मिनट में बात करूँ तो उसको प्रॉब्लम है यू अंडरस्टैंड ओ अच्छा आपके वो वाले दिन चल रहे एक्सक्यूज मी
एग्जैक्टली
कौन आप टैम्पॉन बनाने वाले हो क्या या पैड बनाने वाली कंपनी हो क्या आप क्यों इतनी तकलीफ होती अच्छा दोस डेज जज मी आपके सर्विक्स में दर्द हो रहा है वो ठीक है लेकिन मेरे सर्वाइकल में दर्द कुछ नहीं at a micro level we need to understand if somebody boundaries have to be very very clear and strong और उसका ये मतलब नहीं आपके बदतमीजी कर दिया आप प्यार से लपेट के मारो दाम दंड भेद
राइट एंड सीरियसली अभी आप लोगों का एक्सपीरियंस सुन के लग रहा है कि शायद मुझे कम एक्सपीरियंस मिला है
हम आपको बोलने नहीं दे रहे
हमारे इतना कुछ है
बहुत मजा आ रहा है सुनने में like I was so nervous before the session when Manini ma'am and Meghna ma'am joined and I was like oh I was so nervous and I'm relaxed like everybody is
so Meghna you and I are not students that's being certified
so let's come to Arushi ma'am जब ये content की बात हो रही है and she spoke about Tarini as we talk about the freshness of content you know every time content is a king in media sector when it comes to acting scripting storytelling whether it's in cinematography choreography anything do you think bringing in more women and getting ideas and decision making from women brings in the freshness and adds value
you know I think this question is just the extension of what we keep talking and discussing and I would say हम सभी लोग ये बात सुनते हुए बड़े हुए हैं that behind every successful man there is a woman. Maybe that woman is behind every successful business, maybe the society, maybe the politics. She is in the parliament too. But no, ये कहावत अभी भी चलती है कि वो she is behind every successful man. So I feel this is a time, this woman empowerment subject and this talking on woman empowerment, first we need to understand that what we want. It can be different for you. It can be different for me. It can be different for a Haryana woman जो इतने पल्ले में रहती है वो कहती है आज तुझे मेरे लिए woman empowerment चाहिए कि मैं I'm going to take off my wheel, I'm going to walk confident. Maybe for a Rajasthani woman giving a right kind of education to her child or to herself, maybe woman empowerment is that for her. और हम लोग जो बैठे हैं इंडस्ट्री के लोग मे बी हमारे लिए वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट ये हो सकता है कि गाइस वंस इन अ व्हाइल जस्ट सी अस एज अ ब्रेन नॉट ब्यूटी and it can't be as Manini ji said it can't backfire us that we are educated we have brain no it can be a good deadly combination that we have beauty with brains so ये जो scenario है and first and foremost, I believe on this International Women's Day, I am trying to spread one word everywhere. हम हिंदी में कहते हैं कि औरत ही औरत की दुश्मन होती है. Let's change this, you know. Till that time, this narrative will not change. Doesn't matter which sector we are working in, you know, because we know what is women capable of. We all are women. तो अगर हम एक दूसरे को ही कहते हैं we try to you know pull us each other down we can never reach anywhere ये एक बहुत बड़ी ताकत एक बहुत बड़ी शक्ति हो सकती है अगर औरत ये सोच ले यार मेरे को तो I need to support the other woman somebody just said that कितने लोग हैं जब वो मेल एक्टर हो मेल डायरेक्टर हो we never say oh it's a male director it's just she's a female director she's a female filmmaker
because the denomination is very small that is why you stand out
absolutely but my point is ये हुआ भी तो शायद इसीलिए होगा कि जब एक औरत ने काम किया होगा I'm not saying that you need to praise her so much or she herself need to praise herself too much this is a support Women's Day we are talking when a one woman comes with up some idea which may be not brilliant, what is this gender equality we keep talking? Because we never said that physically we are capable enough to fight a man. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. We're saying that if we're talking about the mental capability, पूरा दिन काम करके, नरेशन देके, शूट करके, डायरेक्ट करके, I'm coming back home. But ये मेरे दिमाग में वही the perfection as you said, ये है कि मुझे अपने हस्बैंड से पूछो कि अगर आप कुक नहीं भी कर रहे हो तो doesn't matter. But you're gonna ask because you want to fulfill all of your responsibility. I'm just saying on this day, we need to decide support. I don't say we need a support because ये देवी सरस्वती भी रही है औरत जिसने ज्ञान दिया हो और वो काली बन के उसने नाश भी किया है. That's we. But in terms of support, if I would say that we need encouragement. Don't let those dreams die before they coming out there, you know. वो किसी को दिखने से पहले टूट जाए, आप उसको इतना तोड़ दे. तो मुझे लगता है कि this kind of support is very important. And even though if you talk about the industry also, time is changing. Time is not even changing. This is a weird kind of situation where COVID has gone, theaters are not working, OTT coming in a big time way, and the talents are getting a good platform, I would say. Because I myself is a very new filmmaker. I am a very new content provider. But if OTT not care, I'm not, you know, Yash Raj Films or Sanjay Leela Bhansali. They're liking my idea. They're liking those new fresh faces. So I would say that I feel it that we really need to see this kind of a synergy and encouragement for women. चाहिए तो होगा क्योंकि हम सो गए हैं. We need a wake up call. So this encouragement, I would say it's a wake up call for all women, and we should today, yeah, we're gonna do that for each other.
I'm doing a live in the evening, which is exactly on this subject that you just spoke about. Actually, it's crazy that when they ask me, "Kya karna chahte ho aap?" I said, you know, holding each other, celebrating each other is the most important thing. And that is exactly that synergizing between all of us together as one is the most important. To say that, you know, I'm there for you, I got your back. When somebody says that, na, itna hi bahut. आपको नहीं चाहिए कि कोई आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज दे या वो मिल जाएंगी, लेकिन कोई हाथ पकड़ के सिर्फ इतना बोल दे, आई एम हियर, वो बहुत बड़ी, वो आपकी माँ हो, आपकी दोस्त हो, आपकी नेबर हो, कोई भी. As she rightly said, you know, new content is coming in, new people are coming in, but ये तब तक नहीं चेंज होगा जब तक हम as individuals एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ के as a power component नहीं करें. वो नहीं हो सकता. एक छोटी सी बात कहती हूँ, you know, when you see, like I have this habit that whenever I see somebody, I compliment them. It's not to get any, you know, brownie point. मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. But just the fact that another woman feels recognized, looked at. Like, what are you saying? I said, lovely hair. Your hair is looking so nice today. What are my hair's falling? I said, no, but it's lovely. I think you need to look at it. You know, or somebody who's come into the salon after very long, and maybe in her 70s or 80s, and you say, great skin. This is lovely. आप क्या करते हो? You just saying these simple things can uplift somebody. हम बड़े change की बात कर रहे हैं, हम छोटे से शुरू करते हैं. Just holding each other and saying, listen, you're amazing. तू जो करेगी अच्छा करेगी, और नहीं करेगी तो मैं तुझे थप्पड़ मार दूंगी, वो अलग बात. लेकिन I stand with you. And if you ask me ये shot कैसा था, तुझे कैसा था? मेरी छोड़, तुझे कैसा था? Were you honest in this shot? Did you enjoy doing it? Were you in that magical moment of action and cut के बीच में जो रब आपके through channel करता है? Were you in that spot? हाँ, then it's great. You don't need to be told. So I think it's important to just say, listen, it's all good, but let's stand together and actually celebrate each other, not just say it. क्योंकि as you rightly started, हम सब individuals, हम सब अलग personality, लेकिन आज हम यहाँ पर क्यों हैं? ये कोई coincidence नहीं है. ये यूनिवर्स का कोई प्लान है कि इन औरतों की सिनर्जी और इनके टैलेंट को मर्ज करना है. And to bring it to fruition, we all need to be each other's पूरक. That's the way I look at it.
I just want to add something to what Manini said. I mean, I just want to say that I want to take a step further actually from there, because when I started Whistling Woods, I found that many women were struggling with so many different roles, of work and home. And, I myself had my first child when Whistling Woods was just about a year old. And I used to carry my baby to work because I wanted to breastfeed her. And I found that the other women on campus couldn't do that because they had to come by train, and they had other circumstances, and even though I provided them with a room, they found it difficult. It was then when I decided that the word is equality, and I started addressing the men and women on campus with the same empathy, with the same compassion, and empowering all of them. So I addressed on a Women's Day, I addressed the entire staff and faculty, and I addressed the men, and I said, what, take the day off to be with your kids so your wife can have a day off. Bring your kids to work so that your wife doesn't have to take them to work every time. And I started that culture of balance. And I think since then, I feel women don't feel at our workplace, women don't feel like they're any different, or they're being special, because men also have that appreciation that, yeah, there's a balance in this workplace. So I think that while when we're talking about India, and I think India is, of course, there are two Indias, okay, the India that we live in and then the rest of India. But I think slowly and steadily things are changing. I mean, over the last 15, 20 years, I've seen even house help stand up for their rights. I've had so many women come to me and say, I'm getting a divorce, I'm leaving this man because he hit me. I mean, earlier you wouldn't see it. Earlier you wouldn't see women walking out on marriages like that. They're raising their children, and I don't know how, but two of the women that I face this situation with both have sons, and I hope their sons learn that their mothers have actually stood up for themselves. So I think any change in society takes time. Education is key, and education not just when they're young. Of course, us as mothers have to teach our children how to behave, our sons and daughters. School needs to play a big role, but sometimes, like, I deal with kids who are 18 and 21 and 22. I have to deal with them. We have disciplinary committee meetings when I'm telling 20-year-old boys how they should behave with women, but I'm wrapping them on their wrist no matter how old they are. And that's their learning process. And us as leaders, us as women who everybody looks up to, it's our responsibility to really correct the boys as well as the girls as we go along with a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion and empathy. And I think that is the way forward for any industry, and for the world to at large.
No, I would like to narrate an incident that happened in our college at Ramesh Sippy Academy. So there was a girl who was kind of teased or whatever, and you will be amazed that the whole class boys stood up. All the boys from that class stood up and protected her, and the person who tried to be aggressive is really kind of put into his place. So it's not that. I find that today's boys are they are changing. When I sit and talk to my students, I find they're thinking, and because I also like to know what today's kids, how they are growing up and what their whole thinking. So I have these sessions where I just sit one-on-one with one of the students from time to time and just chat with them, as on an equal basis. I don't make them feel like, okay, you're talking to someone. So I just chit chat with them. And I find that a lot of them do have mothers who are working, and they're growing up in that environment, and they do think differently, and they do think more equal, more parallel. And when I talk about marriage and all, they're even afraid to commit to marriage till they feel that they are stable and that they will be able to take a active part. And they're saying, no ma'am, right now am I going to be my struggling years, and I don't want to distract myself, and also I would not be able to give her time. In our time, men didn't think like that. We will not be able to give the time to the marriage, because they were when you marry at that age, every man from whatever level is actually trying to establish himself and take his career forward. Yes. And that is the time that they really don't have time for the family. But today's boys, if you notice, they get married late. And part of the reason is that they actually want to settle down, be, a little more comfortable in their work before they commit to marriage. Yeah, because they do realize that today marriage will involve a lot of commitment. And I'm finding that my students, at least some of them that I've spoken to, do have that balanced and point of view. So I'm just hoping that the next generation and the coming generations, they are going to be
And I think we need to
Yeah.
keep that hope alive in our hearts, so that we can really encourage the young kids out there that it's not that bad.
absolutely.
Yeah, Kiranji, also I would like to say is that not only the boys are getting married late, even the girls today are not getting married, say at 23, 24. They are also very career oriented.
Yes.
I mean, my
yes.
nieces and all, pura career karke, they are like,
Yeah,
now
marriages
I
are late
want
by
to
and
settle
large.
down. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
They are by and large.
why the change is coming is because as mothers, we have taught our sons, that is the change. The previous
also,
generation did not do it. We did it.
Yes, but also the kids now, when they come with their scripts, we are vetting their scripts all the time for their projects. And I find that their scripts are also
So very powerful,
very
and very
forward
different.
thinking, and they do have a balance for women, a lot of them.
Yes.
I find I have a great balance for women, which you did not find earlier. Like
Hmm.
Malini was saying, it was, where are the heroes? It's always a hero. She said that, but where is the hero? But I'm finding a lot of the scripts that come to us from the students have a very balanced man and woman kind of a relationship, and the roles are also equally divided and strong. So I am finding a change. I am finding a change definitely for the better.
Even the media and the OTT platform has brought in a lot of change, because now when you see a woman, you see her less makeup, less decked up. She is what she is, like you see the protagonist, you can identify with her. She's not all that decked up, and she's there. She's a police officer, so she's a police officer. She's not wearing something fancy. So things are changing. Things have changed a lot. Content has changed a lot.
Yes, yes.
I mean, we
And
don't have the cruel mother-in-law now. We
yes,
have
yes. And let's face
understanding mother-in-law.
that we are lucky to be in the media and entertainment
Yes.
business, and also in education of media and entertainment, because honestly, we have a strong influence on society.
Exactly.
A lot, and you will find that change coming into films. As though they change, thought of people also changes. We are widening their minds. Look at the films today across, and we are touching subjects we have never ever touched before. So the boldness with which we are touching them, and having said that, yes, women, are not supposed to be the heroines, but you are finding that television series, it's all women.
Yeah.
They're driven by women. They're driven by women. So women are playing very prominent, strong characters in television, and in web series also, to some extent. In certain series, you're finding that women have fabulous roles.
Yes.
So it is changing. I remember the time of Mother India and Manini, and you saw that those films were actually heroine oriented. If you see Nutan ji, or you see Nargis ji, you see them in those films, and you see that
Raat Aur Din is like one of my favorites for a woman oriented film. It's like so empowering for a woman.
Yeah. So they were being made then also, and then there was a kind of a dip. But I think we are back to that, and I think women are now very lucky, and they are getting to play very nice, strong, powerful roles. And I think that's a change. So, I mean, let's be positive, and let's think that all in all, we are winning. Yes, it's going to take time, but we are winning. And, it's great. It's great to be in today's world.
Yeah, I hope soon there'll not be any gender bias, and everyone will be equal. We don't say
gender bias thoda ulta ho raha hai. Actually, say as much as we're celebrating. So bad for all the men.
Yeah, we stand for equality.
End of the day, we have to be the change that we want.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
And every generation holds the responsibility of the next generation, male and female. So we have to teach the same thing to the sons and the same thing to the daughters, because this is the life.
No, but it starts bachpan se. If your son he changes his clothes and just leaves them there and walks off. If the mother trains him from then only ki ye kapda utha ke apne cupboard mein rakho, ya at least tokri mein rakho so it can go down for washing. Those little things Little things. If you're laying a table, or if your maid is not there or servant is not there, and telling the son to pitch in and say, okay, go on, help your sister or help your maid or whatever. We are short on staff. Plate laga do. These are but this breaks that boundary. These are my roles and I'm not to do this and I'm not to do that. I think men who studied abroad for a little while come back very well tutored. Because
yes, very well trained.
Very well trained, potty trained.
they learn everything.
Potty trained.
Clean everything. So look for an NRI, look for someone who studied abroad and you'll be fine.
Not just that, I think you need to ask a man कि आपको ये चीजें आती हैं, वो 36 गुण and all that. उससे पहले
You are asking me क्या आता है? Do you know all this?
But what is strange is that I was attending the wedding और वो पंडित जो है वो अभी तक वो पुराने मंत्र बोल रहा था.
मंत्र तो चेंज नहीं होंगे.
नहीं, मंत्र नहीं, वो उनको शिक्षा दे रहा था कि बहू बेटी क्या होती है, बेटी क्या होती है, अब तुम बहू बन रही हो, अब तुम्हें अपने सास ससुर के ये करने हैं. मैंने कहा व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, ये पंडित जी कौन से
ये सब तो आपको अपडेट करना पड़ेगा ना.
ये पंडित जी नीड्स ट्रेनिंग, ही नीड्स टू
पंडित जी नीड्स ट्रेनिंग, train the trainer,
train the trainer,
train the trainer,
train the trainer.
और हम सब देख रहे हैं क्या बोल रहे हैं.
Like I told my daughter, the day you decide, she's just 21, the day you decide, मैं तुम्हारा कन्या दान नहीं करूँ. तो कोई दान करने वाली चीज नहीं है. So that is a clear stance कि मैं तुम्हारी शादी में तुम्हें जैसी भी करनी है, if you have a Hindu wedding, if not, there'll only be female priests, because it's very fascinating. I saw it at a wedding and I was fully fascinated, and I said, I'll ask your permission first, but मैं कोई दान वान नहीं करने वाली, तुम कोई खाने की चीज नहीं हो ना देने की.
बिल्कुल.
तो मैं कोई दान नहीं करूंगी. Or this is a very clear, how do you say, template in my head. So I think as each one of us is, I think we should take this forward and, really collaborate with each other and not just leave it at this today. We've met for a reason. Let's all of us put our heads together and seriously create more value and give back to society.
Completely.
Definitely.
So,
what a wonderful idea.
Yes.
So I am there. I'm offering my services, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, that if in any way I can be a catalyst or an agent of change, please reach out. I'm here. I would love to. It'll be a privilege.
Super.
Perfect.
So I'll take a last word before I introduce 3 young girls in this session. So like Meghna ma'am says, love what you do. And somehow I feel that if everybody is given this chance to love what they do, then there won't be stress, because you are anyway doing what you love. Similarly, as Kiran ma'am has mentioned about, her points on being biased and equality. Here, when we are sitting and we are talking about women in power, do you think skilling can play a role when we start skilling people from the grassroots level, which was a question by Ritu ma'am? When the grassroots level is getting skilled and empowered, do you think our nation will see a major change?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely. I mean, skilling their, they would bring out their creativity, letting them feel empowered and giving them an opportunity to, be independent and earn their own money. I think it's the best way. And yes, absolutely. This is the only way, actually. Yeah.
I would just like to put in a little word here, that here again, I think a lot of change of the way of thinking of the parents has to be brought in. So actually the parents need to be educated before the kids, because unfortunately the parents are still in that mind frame कि मेरा बच्चा graduate होना चाहिए, IIT होना चाहिए, engineer होना चाहिए, ये होना. They are set in those typical form, and lawyer होना चाहिए, doctor होना चाहिए. To break that and say कि don't waste your child's 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, put him into the field that he really enjoys and wants to be in. I mean, all of us, I did BA English honors and I'm an actor. I'm writing also, but I'm today running an academy. So I'm doing entirely different things from what I studied. My brother did something else. He did physics honors and he was into IT. My other brother did accountancy and he has his own software company. So technically, if I look around me, I find everybody, what they've learned is not what they've applied. So to change that, what we need to do is educate the parents. So this great thing we do when counseling happens. You know, to change the mindset of parents, to make them understand that don't let him first do this and then come here, because he's wasted 3 years of his life.
Yeah. And
So I
people
have a
would
very
also
set
say,
example of
yeah.
a friend of mine who has a daughter who went and studied something else. She spent 3 years abroad doing something, which she came back and she became a stylist, you know, which was nothing to do with what she had learned. And she's a successful stylist today. Her friend decided that she was not going to go abroad and waste her money and time. And she was very focused कि मुझे तो यही करना है. I want to be a blogger. मुझे blog करना है. So she started and took off 3 years earlier compared to this girl. By the time this girl came back, the other girl who had not gone abroad had reached some phenomenal position in her profession and is a celebrity. Already was a celebrity then. And this girl friend's daughter started then. She's doing well, but it took her another 2 years, 3 years to reach where she reached. Okay. So the point is that if parents are also counseled properly in career guidance at a right stage, and the child's mind understood, and if they're able to understand it and focus him into the area that he's good at and his skill, you know, develop his skill, he will be way ahead in a shorter time, and you know, do be successful faster instead of एक basic BA करके और फिर वो चीज करना जो कि मैं करना चाहता हूँ.
Right.
दूसरी बात पूजा, जब स्किल की बात करते हैं और अगर ग्राउंड लेवल पे वी टॉक अबाउट इट, तो व्हाट इज द स्किल दैट वी आर डूइंग ब्यूटिशियन, ब्यूटी पार्लर का, एंड वी आर डूइंग स्विंग का, सिलाई चलाना, बिकॉज वो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट में होता है. देयर आर मेनी एनजीओज हु आर डूइंग इट इन द स्लम्स एंड ऑल, बट दैट इज नॉट इट. आई मीन that is not the thinking. That should not be the thinking.
No.
Skill
But you know
development
why?
is beyond-
No. But also that is stemming up from the fact what we just discussed a little time ago, that we are not the major part of the country. You know, these are women जिनको सिखाया जा रहा है. These are women from smaller villages, towns, and these are the kind of things that they can develop and sort of very easily. And then being in those constraints, as you know, they cannot break those shangles overnight.
नहीं, पर हमने एक्चुअली गलती हमारी भी है किरण जी, हमारी भी गलती है कि हमने उनको बताया ही नहीं कि और भी कुछ है.
और भी कुछ है.
Very true. Maybe.
हमने बताया ही नहीं.
But ये easiest and most accessible way था.
And acceptable.
They have done it slowly. I think yes, we should start opening the horizon a little more and start introducing many more options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Here, I'd like to take this opportunity to mention that MESC is working in the rural areas also with the job roles like director of photography. So I've seen even in the border areas of Firozpur, which is just touching the Pakistan border, there are young females learning camera operations and photography.
Wonderful.
So it's going
That's
on.
wonderful.
Kudos.
Very good.
And
Very
so
good.
let me take this opportunity and permission of you all to bring on screen 3 very, very young, talented and beautiful girls, Devika Jhunjhunwala, Kopal Gangrade and Vagisha Jain. I request you to turn on your camera. These girls are the winners of India Skills National Competition that happened in
Very good.
2020 during the month of January. And they are now undergoing a training to go at the World Skills stage in Shanghai, China in the month of October.
Wow.
So here we have
Superb.
people. Let's have Devika and Vagisha also. So they were, I am sure, I was really excited to introduce these 3 young girls.
Yeah, congratulations, girls, and all the very best.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. Many
Are you excited?
congratulations.
Nervous?
Thank you. Thank
We
you. very
cannot
much.
see them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
So
So
how
I'm
does
sure
it
you'll do
feel?
excellent. You'll do really well, and you have all our best wishes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So here these 3 girls are there, and of course the boys are also getting prepared to bring the glory to the nation, and we are really excited and we really want to see these women go on the over there with the flag, the Indian flag. We are really excited, I'm sure, and these girls are also very excited and working towards the goal.
Wow.
So we'd like to know what exactly is she doing? What are you doing?
Yes. Let's have you heard it from Kopal first.
Yeah, Kopal, what are you doing?
Yes.
I can see only Kopal, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So academically, I did my BTech in mechanical engineering, and after that, I did my master's in product design from NID Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So for this competition, my category is industrial design technology. So we have more than 50 skills participating. So I'll be representing industrial design. And in this skill, we develop products. So we do sketching and we do research first. We start with research and then we sketch some concepts. We develop computer models. And then this time we also have 3D printing. So we'll be 3D printing those models. So it's a 3-day competition.
That's lovely.
Yes, let's hear it from Vagisha because Vagisha is in graphic design technology. Vagisha, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. It has been amazing to hear from you all. And I am from NEST, National Institute of Fashion Technology. I'm currently studying in my third year in Fashion Communication Department. My category for this competition is graphic design technology. It's a 3-day competition, 6 hours each. So yeah, we are given a task every day, and we have to work on it till the end and display it in front of the jury.
Okay.
We also
Isha.
have Devika Junjunwala with us. Devika.
Yeah. Hi.
So
Hi,
Devika
Devika.
is representing. Devika, you're on mute.
Sorry. Actually, me and Kopal are sitting in the same room, and our microphones are kind of clashing. So, same as Kopal. I am also preparing for industrial design technology, and I've done my graduation in product design from MIT Pune, and now I'm currently employed with Bosch as a designer for their design studio in India. And yeah, like she rightly explained, we work on designing innovating products. And in this competition, we'll be working on getting a brief of what the client really wants and then creating products from scratch, from sketches to doing 3D CAD, making their prototypes and 3D printing, and then presenting it, pitching it. So yeah, that's
Superb.
our
The best, Devika. All the best.
Very good.
So here, 3 young girls with the eminent industry personalities. I'm so glad now I can see that the past has gone. Today we're sitting on present, and we are looking at the future of the country.
Wow.
All female portal. It's
Yes.
amazing to have them all.
Thank you.
Just before I actually say a bit bye to you all, would love to have one mantra from you, a core mantra on this International Women's Day, where what would you like to say to this next gen youngsters who are actually ready to enter the industry, or if not media industry, anywhere in their career? One word from you all, ma'am. One mantra. So let's have it from, let's start it from Meghna, ma'am.
So, I feel this is something that may sound extremely simple to do, but I think it's the hardest. Believe in yourself, believe in your potential. I think we all hear this, we say it to ourselves, we try to manifest it in our life, but it is actually really hard to do. We don't really believe that we can really achieve all that we want to and more. So I just would like to say to every youngster out there that believe in yourself, believe in your inner potential, and don't give up so easily. I think our generation today is troubled in many ways with social media and with all the pressures. And I feel we tend to not kind of continue and carry on with our dreams. So don't give up and just keep believing in yourself.
So nice. Like a mantra that is always a mantra of success. Kiran, ma'am, may I hear it from you?
Well, we always say make your dreams come true. So where dreams fly. So I would say that if the youngsters get focused early and like we talked, get going into what they want to do as soon as they can and achieve whatever they want to achieve as fast as possible without looking back. I think that's all. What they really need, what you really need in life is focus. And focus will bring you devotion. Focus will bring you the surge to move ahead. I think that's the key. So just make your dreams come true.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm sure all these three candidates are also getting your blessings to bring their dreams to truth.
Yes.
To the truth.
Yes.
Arushi, ma'am, let's hear it from you. A young, I'll say a young and a very potential idea from your side.
I think they have said enough, but just to add on to it, I would say breaking the stereotyping. As many people out there, and especially I'll talk about Megha and me, because Megha's father is a legend, Subhashji, and he has made his career into the filmmaking, and we all know. And my father is into politics. He is serving the country right now. But we both try to, try to break the stereotyping, and Megha is trying to do so many things in education, which is very important. I am trying to make my career into the industry. We don't know where our future lies, but at least we are trying to break the stereotyping. We are not doing what society sees us that we should be doing. We are doing what we really want to do. We believe in ourselves, and we just try to step ahead into this world. And so I would just give this mantra that break the stereotyping. You should not think that how people perceive you. You should see that how you see yourself in the mirror and where you want to see yourself in future.
Thank you, ma'am. Manini, ma'am, let's hear it from you.
A very simple mantra: be you, do you. It's very important. Rest have been taken. You are not supposed to be a version of somebody's thought process. You're not supposed to be a Xerox of somebody else. You're an individual. When two thumbprints can't be the same, then two individuals shouldn't be the same. Beauty lies in polarity. There will always be polarities in life. Just be you, do you, and know that what you can do, somebody else cannot. You've been blessed with a certain thing. So understand that and also respect that somebody else may not look at it the same way. So the important thing is to see beauty in difference and not to judge yourself or somebody else. Be your authentic self. जो आपको instinct बोल रही है, करो. Listen to your inner voice. Your GPS, your God positioning system can never ever go wrong. Follow that word that comes from within. And just
Wonderful.
out there and be on fire, man. Be on fire. It's very important. इस दुनिया को बहुत जरूरत है. Flame की, fire की of love, not एक दूसरे को जलाने की. So be a light that illuminates the path, not just for yourself, but for others who are waiting to come on that path.
So sweet. Thank you. Let's hear it from Ritu, ma'am, quickly.
Yeah, actually, Manny has said whatever I was stressing on, but I have written few lines. I would like to kind of read it out to you, young girls. Is that na ho dar, na ho shak, beta beti mein na fark, beta beti mein na fark kare हम चलेंगे साथ साथ लिए हाथों में हाथ, हम चलेंगे साथ साथ एक दिन, मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास.
Yeah.
Lovely. Very nice.
Wonderful. Like this
Very
is
nice.
such a day of inspiration, full of inspiration.
The perfect ending.
Yes, the perfect ending, and I'll say a new beginning when we'll actually take all your thoughts and start working towards it. Not just we are just celebrating Women's Day. We are celebrating breaking the bias and equality for all, be it a male or a female. We have to be equal, and being a woman, we have more power that we can even guide the next generation men that most men of this generation can't. So let's use that power and create a beautiful world around. Full
So
of
next time they'll say behind every successful woman there's a man.
Yes.
That's also true. That's so true.
Yes.
Yeah, we are equal, and we love listening to you all. It's a pleasure having you all. On behalf of Media and Entertainment Skills Council, from the core of my heart, I wish to thank you all for spending your time with us. It really means a lot.
Thank
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 you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
And
And
this
ladies,
platform,
let's actually meet up and seriously work on something together.
Yeah, Manini,
Yes,
calling
yes,
you,
we will
calling
do
you.
We will do that. We
And
will
have
do that.
fun
I'll be
also.
calling.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
been
Bye,
a pleasure.
Malini.
thank
Bye,
you.
ma'am. Love you.
Meghna,
Bye.
we had
Love
come to
you.
your whistling woods.
Yes.
We missed you. We met your father.
Okay, thank you so much,
Bye,
everyone.
ladies.
Take care.
Celebrate.
Yes,
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
take care.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
care.
And
Bye.
our young competitors, I am sure you are going to blossom and bring glory to the nation. With this note, I'd like to thank everyone. Ritu ma'am, you've been wonderful. Everyone was so wonderful, and it was such an energetic session. Loved it. And with this note, thank you so much. Let's enjoy the Women's Day and every day.